Stored access policy. Access policy in Azure used to control access to resources over time, with a set expiration date. Azure Kubernetes Service. Allows Kubernetes but managed in Azure and orchestrated. For networking, it uses CNI or KubeNet. Azure Network Policy S supports CNI only. Calico supports CNI and KubeNet. With CNI, every pod gets an IP address from the subnet and can be accessed directly. OAuth 2.0 endpoints are required for access. Docker push is required to deploy the app first. KubeNet. Container network plugin in Kubernetes, used to provide basic network connectivity for pods. kubectl apply file_name. YAML to deploy a YAML file. Container network interface. Network interface for containers, used to connect containers to networks and other resources. Health probe. Mechanism used to monitor the health of an application or service, ensuring that it is functioning properly. Administrative units. Azure Active Directory feature that allows administrators to delegate administrative tasks to other users, while maintaining control over resources. These let you restrict access to people for a certain region. Reader role. Role in Azure used to provide read-only access to resources. Service endpoint. Azure feature that secures access to services over the network. Private endpoint. Azure feature that enables communication with a service through a private IP address, rather than a public IP address. Active Directory Domain Services. Azure service that provides a managed version of Active Directory, used for identity and access management. Action Group. Azure service used to group alerts and automate responses to specific incidents. You can send 100 emails per hour. You can send 1 text messages per 5 minutes and 1 call every 5 minutes. Connect to Azure Monitor. Also, each metric requires its own rule, so powered off, restarted, and deallocated is 3 rules. Action groups can contain multiple recipients and can be reused for alerts. Azure Firewall. Azure service used to provide centralized network security and protect against cyber attacks. Only works with a standard IP for premium. Encryption scope. Azure feature that provides the ability to manage encryption settings for specific resources or services. Azure Custom Script Extension. Azure feature that allows administrators to run custom scripts during the deployment of virtual machines. IP address SKU. Azure feature that defines the pricing tier for a static or dynamic IP address. Gateway SKU. Azure feature that defines the pricing tier for a VPN gateway. Backup Vault. Azure service used for backup and disaster recovery, providing a centralized location for storing backup data. Service Tag. Azure feature that allows administrators to identify and control access to resources and services. Application Insights Profiler. Azure feature that provides real-time profiling and performance analysis of .NET applications. Bastion Hosts. Azure service that provides secure, browser-based remote access to virtual machines.